So, what do we learn from this administrative history? What use is there in doing all the work we have to do in order to understand these three paths to authorization? We might as well ask, what is the purpose of public history? Doing public history is not just about disseminating information. Public history, when it's done well, is about using our understanding of the past to encourage a kind of critical self-awareness. We study the past so that we can understand how decisions made for us long ago condition our possibilities and our limitations today. Consider that none of the park's three paths to authorization had much of anything to do with the history of the American Revolution. On the contrary, the history of this park is rooted most deeply in the politics of race and ethnicity, efforts during the 20th century to reinvent cities, and the economics of American nationalism after World War II. In other words, though the park's authorizing legislation nods toward, as it terms it, the American Revolution and the founding and growth of the United States, Congress's intent in making this park was to encourage economic prosperity, the kind of prosperity that back then and today disproportionately favors white Americans. And it was that choice by the park's progenitors that, until reckoned with, will always limit the park's ability to serve all Americans. The good news is that in Boston today, there's a whole new generation of grassroots history activists that are showing us a new path forward. Consider, for instance, the Freedom Trail Foundation and its tour guides, who, after years of contingent employment, are demanding basic labor rights today. What they're demanding, in essence, is a reckoning with the history of Boston's post-industrial economy. Consider, too, the Redlined Project. This is in Jamaica Plains, where the City Life Vida Urbana organization has set out to lay bare the history of racist housing and loan policies that undergirded urban renewal in Boston beginning back during the 1930s. They show us how the history of redlining is also the history of the red line that we call the Freedom Trail. And of course, consider the insistence by a whole spectrum of activists that Faneuil Hall be renamed. All of them want an honest encounter with the history of race and power, one that the NPS cannot deliver so long as Faneuil Hall remains, just as the Chamber of Commerce wanted it back during the 1950s. History upstairs, tourism dollars on the ground floor. People who haven't benefited from American prosperity during the last century, they know full well that racism and capitalism are, in effect, the same system. Until the NPS figures that out, there's little chance of breaking through all the barriers that run through Faneuil Hall and well beyond into the rest of the park. My administrative history is a roadmap for those of you who want to figure it out. I think it's an opportunity to create a new path, and I really do hope you all take it. All right, thanks so much, and good luck.